Dear Diary, I have had just the most chaotic time lately. I've been stumbling around in a half-asleep stupor from the responsibilities that pile up when part of each day gets sucked away by circumstances. It's gotten so bad that I actually forgot I had an appointment last week. The patient is coming today, but I am beyond embarrassed. This is not the professional image that I paid thousands of dollars to craft and labor over with that degree on my wall. It is proof that I am a competent person, that I am supposed to be on top of things. What is it about this profession that keeps me frazzled all the damn time that I can't even think straight without wanting to shrink myself? Excuse me, doctor? Your receptionist said you could see me now? The bitch didn't even alert me. Yes, come in. Take a seat, Sandra. You're lucky I was able to make time today. I would normally just go for a different option when the first consultation doesn't work out. I do apologize. It's been complicated lately. But tell me, what is it you have come to see me about? Well, I'm in a bit of a creative slump. It's been affecting my work, and I really want to make a change. Ah, so you're experiencing a mental block. It can be triggered by any number of stressors in your life, or even sometimes no stress at all. What is it you do for a living? I'm a part-time voice actress and a sales agent at the mall during the day. It's not that I don't have creativity, I just don't know how to express it. I have all these ideas in my head for things I want to do, projects to pursue, but I haven't been able to make anything out of them. What kind of projects do you have in mind? I'd love to make some original content, write my own scripts for characters I can voice in skits, maybe do a podcast or run a YouTube channel. And I've been told by multiple contacts that networking is very important in this business, so I could potentially have collaborators. So I've been trying to post a bit on Twitter, follow voice actors, production studios, and casting directors to attempt to get some mutuals. I also created a TikTok where I've consistently been trying to keep up a schedule with doing voiceover-related content and following accounts there. I see all these people doing some great work together, and I really want to get an in with at least one of them so I can be more noticed. Then there's also Twitch, which could also be a way to gain an audience. I see. And tell me, what do you do for fun? For fun? Now that you mention it, I haven't even taken time for myself in what feels like ages. Ever since I got in the groove of taking classes and auditioning, this is kind of all I've been able to think about. I don't know. I'm just tired of my 9-to-5 job and just want this to happen for me now. Want what to happen? Is it bad that I don't even know what that is yet? It'd be cocky of me to say fame. Too bold to say success. I just want to make something of myself, get recognized for my work, get frequent roles, anything to feel like I am doing well and this is what I should be doing for the rest of my life. I see. Let me ask you something, Sandra. Do you enjoy being a voice actress? I do. I love participating in fun classes and workshops, getting to read different types of scripts and delivering a variety of performance levels. It's exhilarating, really. But when was the last time you focused on doing a project for the fun of it? Do you audition for projects you're truly interested in? Or anything you can get your hands on that you qualify for? But doing things for fun is pretty much irrelevant. Not like doing fan dubs and small Sims animations will get me anywhere in the industry. I can't even put that on a reputable resume. But should that really be your concern? Because it looks to me like what you're experiencing is burnout. Plain and simple. You can't produce any more energy or devote more time to any of the things you want to do because you've been so focused on what you feel you have to do. But isn't burnout the feeling you get when you don't even want to create anything anymore? When you're so exhausted by all that you've taken on that it's consumed your whole life and the creative spark has just gone... oh. Now you see it? Wanting to devote your life to your art is not a bad thing. But don't give every minute of your free time away or you will have nothing left for any other endeavors you want to pursue. I get it. I guess it's that I'm trying to do as much as I can so that I won't feel that hard hit of rejection when it comes, you know? I audition for so much that any lack of response or rejection I get doesn't even matter anymore. There's always the next project, and there is always something else I'm waiting to hear back for. While I completely understand where you're coming from with that mindset, it can be good to take some time off for yourself. You can still research for a role by watching a movie or show, read a book about voiceover tips, or dub over a game for fun. If you want to live and breathe your work that badly, at least do things that you enjoy along with it. Then you can generate those fresh ideas and replace that free time temporarily with some productive content creation. Seriously, Doc, thank you so much! I really appreciate it. And thanks for going over the time you had initially slotted for me. Oh, goodness, did we go over? Well, pay no mind to that. I did make you wait an extra week for this. I just hoped I helped you enough. You really did. And might I suggest listening to this when you get the chance? Perhaps on the ride home or when running errands? Cold Read the Lost Tapes. What's this? A myriad of episodes from one of my favorite podcasts that can potentially give you some helpful tips, all compiled in a helpful CD. You're lucky my car has a working CD player. Thanks again. All right, let's see what this is all about.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you to those that are here in person. Whether you are watching it live while we're recording this on twitch.tv/Zamoody, or if you're watching this on YouTube or anywhere where you can find your podcast, welcome to Cold Read the Podcast. Hi. Well, thank you, Misty, for the intro.
Thanks, Misty.
It could have been better. I think, I accidentally muted the music track. It's supposed to be dramatic piano music while she was writing in her diary, and I'm like,
Oh, you're fine. We got it. We're good.
It was wonderful anyway.
Absolutely.
I sip my tea in affirmation.
I just have one thing to say about this.
Here we go.
What fucking lost tapes are you talking about?
yeah, that is for me to know and you to find out.
There's more.
The lore expands!
I did not expect for that, but if you want to, you can take that angle.
Yes! We now have 3 storylines going for Cold Read, and I love it! Right.
Interesting.
4, maybe. I don't know.
I look forward to see what you come up with. But yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks for being here. For those of you that are new, we're just going to check around with everybody else. Our guest today is going to be Mike Tilford. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, sir.
Yes.
Oh, excellent, excellent. We will check back with you here as soon as we do a quick roundtable. So let's check to see how everybody's doing from the other side of the world. Renara, how was your week?
It's only going but not Jesus. Oh, I had a very, very weird week. It was like really rubbish, but then really great, and then calm, and now it's very much. So let me start from the top. So Monday and Tuesday were I feel awful, I don't think I'm good enough to do this, leading off of Sunday where I felt absolutely rubbish. And then the wonderful Neil Glasgow, aka Crownstag, reached out to me on Twitter and basically told me to shut the fuck up. You are good. You just sound very burnt out. Yep. Is basically what that was. And literally everything in Misty's intro today kind of summarized everything we talked about, and we had a good sort of chat. He just basically, because I called him up and he was like, come on, just lay it on me, like just I'm your soundboard, just get it out. And I just went but we helped put some things into perspective, and we had a good chat about voices, and especially for UK people using it. And I actually went and looked at his video on voices as well, and quite a lot of things we discussed are still there as well. I can go into a big spiel about that, but basically he gave me some homework And I've got a bunch of new sites to go and get myself signed up for, and just to see how that goes. Because it was like, here are some English-based companies that know the differences between the different nuances in British English, and will have a better understanding of kind of where you might sit in some things. And then they're going, that is amazing. I now have a next step to do. I then went on for that, and now I'm kind of doing that, and then my computer decided to be annoying again, so I've now had to order new cables for that to see if I can get it put to the floor, because I am so close to being cast for breaking typecast in Skywind to do some Imperial, but they just want the hum gone. So basically the lead VA went, you're so close, we just need that hum gone, and then we will be able to let you go. And they're going, oh my god, tantalizingly close. So I'm doing that, and today I had to just relax, which is weird, because I have not done that in more than like 3 months, and I just kind of this afternoon, just before stream, kind of went, everything's going okay. Why? Why?
There's that little voice in your head.
So I have 1 more week of work, and then I have half term, so I've got a whole week to just sort my stuff out and see where things go from there. I have bits and pieces to do, so I'm just going to be doing one step at a time, as I always say, but my mojo and spark has been kicked up the butt and relit, however you want to put that.
That was incredibly graphic. Thank you.
I think it's very apt to say that that's quite just, yeah, I can't word. Me English good today, yes.
Nice. Getting to the meat of it.
Oh, yeah. Layman's turds, everybody.
There we go. Oh, my gosh. Well, shout out to Neil, and I'm glad that he had a nice little chat with you, and hopefully we'll have him on soon. I look forward to having a good conversation with him. Well, excellent. Misty, I know you've already mentioned you've had kind of a busy week, but how have you been?
Apart from that, it has been pretty good. I actually got really good news, another bit of good news. I got scheduled for a callback for another project this past week. Very, very excited. This is not the one that Eldurrino sent me, but another one that also involved a Latina voice actress needed for the part. So really hope that goes well. That will be this week that I do the callback. And the project that I've been keeping a bit under wraps, tomorrow I will be officially announcing that. Well, they should be announcing it. I'll be retweeting it, so be on the lookout in case you're interested in what I will be involved in. It's just a lot of fun to finally have a little something that's like, yes, I won't tell a soul until it's ready to be announced. So that should be happening very soon. And
cool.
Yes, I'll be recording, rehearsing and everything later this month. So it's going to be really fun.
And then last week you mentioned you had a really big project. How did that go?
It went pretty good.
Okay.
I'd say, my computer was Audacity, all that shit was not kind, but eventually I did get everything delivered for the Voice 123 job, and I did get a message from another person. We were interested in what I submitted, but they went with someone else. But it's good to know that it was considered. It's like, yay, progress. I'm still gonna keep auditioning for things, and keep hoping for good things to come.
Well, I'm glad you're seeing some movement out of Voices 123. So, yeah. All right, Eldurrino, how was your week, sir?
It was decent. The most important thing was I bought Dying Light 2.
Good for finally.
So I got to play that a little bit. As far as voice acting goes, nothing too special to speak of. Mostly just continuing to try and run things like a business. During the day, look out for auditions or demo reel submissions, etc., etc. Do that during the day, and then during the night when I come home after work, get in the booth as soon as I can, get the stuff recorded, send it off. I even went so far as to make a nice little spreadsheet so I can track everything, of what I've auditioned for, what I got called back for, what I got cast for, etc.
Fancy.
So, I'm doing my best because I realized that like last year especially I really kind of took a step back, especially during the rock opera compilation time period, and I wasn't really doing a whole lot of auditions during that. So I'm really trying to put myself in that mindset of I have to be doing something at least like 4 or 5 days out of the week to make my investment in voices paid
worthwhile.
off. So yeah, so doing what I can there. I also got a new monitor because my tax refund came in. So I now have my 2 on my desk here, and then I have a separate one now in my booth. So I don't have to keep moving things back and forth from my desk to my booth. So now the only thing I have to move is my microphone and my pop filter and the cable, but that's it. So overall, pretty exciting week, not necessarily in regards to voice acting, but the business side of voice acting, I guess.
The admin side, as I kind of call it.
There you go.
In a weird way.
Yeah, more or less. And I play Dying Light too, so that's important.
Some good character development. Character research.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interject here, but I have to say one thing in regards to that, because you were talking about the Fishmonk guy last week. So I did that. It was hilarious. But then I did another quest that the guy was using a very similar accent. And so I just kind of, I just believe that it is a Turkish accent because in a sense, like it kind of sounded like what Borat would do, you know, as far as like the voice goes, kind of a similar accent. I know that character is more Kazakhstan, but anyways, so during that quest, the guy was speaking in his Turkish accent, and then he like betrays you and you have to fight and kill him, right? Well, for some reason during that fight, he went from speaking like this to saying something like, "Take this, you son of a bitch!"
Oh God!
And it was so jarring. I just I had to pause, and I was just like sitting there with my head in my hands for a good few minutes, just trying to comprehend what the fuck happened. Anyways, I'm done.
Wildly inconsistent.
Eldurrino rambles. I think that was.
Is that where we're going with that?
Please don't.
Eldurrino elaborates.
Those of you that are curious, I'm sharing my screen right now, and I'll talk about that in just a second. For my particular week, it's work has been busy. I work for the county. We're trying to get back on track with everything. A lot of people back in the office now. There's a lot of talk of masks, no masks, and a lot of personnel issues. So I really didn't have much time to sit down and do recording. Jay Show did send me a script that I got completed, so I'm happy about getting the consistent work, but I did realize that I have not auditioned on voices.com since the beginning of the year. So I'm now looking at almost 2 months worth of not using the audition part of it, but I'm still getting work from it from, the regular guy I've got in there. So it's kind of a thing in there. But as Eldurrino has mentioned, I also have Dying Light 2. So what this was earlier for those of you that were here and actually got to see live. Let me make sure this comes up.
You were playing, I saw.
I was playing, and again, we'll do it audio only for everybody else. This guy comes up.
You are awesome. I know you made it in time too. I met one guy who ate a sausage sandwich and he was fine. He even called it tasty. Awesome. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
The whole quest is like this. So it's like the surfer kind of, but it's horrible because it slips in and out, and all of a sudden he's like adds on this weird little thing, and it really just completely jarred me. So
it sounded like. I can speak to this because I am from the Midwest. It sounded like someone who is naturally from the Midwest and speaks with a very heavy Midwestern accent, but then he tries to throw in the
California dude.
Awesome dude.
Yeah.
Awesome dude.
And Turtle's making fun of me because I can't stand it, and I'm playing with Turtle at the same time. I was like, well, you're gonna have to get used to it. It's like I don't really need to get used to it. I just need, I can laugh and point at this particular one because I mean I know it's a little company. I'm wondering if they got most of the actors off of Fiverr.com or where did it all come from?
I think it's difficult, especially with that game being set in a fictional city in Turkey. It's probably hard to come across Turkish voice actors.
I guess so.
You know what I mean? Because I noticed that too. Like there's characters that do have a very distinct European accent, but then other ones that are just kind of a mix between like North American or like Southern North American. Like it's all over the place.
Okay, sorry very much, Garrett. Let me talk to you real quick. I know I saw you put your hand up. Did you want to say a comment to that?
Oh no, he mentioned the Midwest, and I was just like, hey, yeah, got you because I'm from the Midwest as well.
Hey!
Gotcha.
Minnesota.
So,
I'm further south, but
Illinois.
Stop trying to dox our guest, Eldurrino.
State is fine.
We always check in also with you, Garrett. How has your week been? Anything that you wanted to talk about?
First week back to work in a new position, right after having COVID. So that was fun. So yeah, it's been very exhausting. I literally spent basically yesterday just sitting on my couch, eating an ungodly amount of food and just zoning out.
Just
That's
relaxing.
Literally all I did yesterday. Yeah, just I posted recently that I needed to get back into auditions because boy, I've not been doing anything this last week. So it's the grind is about to start.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm wondering if it's like a post-holiday, like I don't know, slump that I know I got into.
So I work retail. I'm one of the managers at a very big retail company, very big, and it's constant. Yeah.
Well, welcome aboard. Let's go ahead and shift over and let's get to know you a bit, Garrett. So when it comes to voice acting, how did you start coming down this road?
So I actually never wanted to do voice acting originally.
Okay.
I started out back in high school many moons ago. I joined drama as I just need a throwaway credit, right? I don't need it. And the very first day they had you go around and introduce yourself, right? And I said, nope, I'm out. Deuces, I'm going to transfer out of this class. It's not for me. Well, I decided to stay. I was like, all right, well, I'll give it the first week, whatever. And fell in love with stage acting.
That's awesome.
I did stage acting basically up until college. And I was... a buddy of mine and I were watching anime one day, and I just happened to try a shonen protagonist voice, and he's like, "Oh wow, that was unsettlingly good." And I was like, well, maybe. So I start kind of playing around with it and looked into it, and that's kind of how I discovered I can act and I can be kind of silly with voices, and kind of went from there.
Nice.
I
think most everybody that gets that little acting bug starts kind of gravitating towards over. Where did you start? Where did you actually, like, when you buckled down and you got into voice acting, did you go the voices.com, the casting call club? Where did you go?
I went from the era of Voice Acting Alliance and old forums. Yeah,
I feel quite young right here.
This is I've been doing bits and stuff for like 10, almost 15 years now.
Wow.
And that's it started way back where you had to find forums and just hope that somebody posted something and hope that something doesn't turn toxic and you can actually get the project out.
Right.
That was
Well, that seems to be par for the course for a lot of the stuff that's out there, unfortunately. But okay. So back, 10, 15 years ago, how would you deliver that audio? Did you have like a goose mic, or what are we talking about?
I originally, my very first mic was an old headset microphone.
Yes, another one.
The staticky. I was sitting in a closet with all my clothes around me, hunched over a laptop, just hoping that I could get something out.
Yep, wardrobe person
I
here.
feel that.
remember what your first role was?
Yes, it was. Oh, this is embarrassing.
Ooh.
All right.
It was a gender bent My Little Pony
Ooh.
character.
There is nothing wrong with
My Little Pony originally from your
There is
design.
nothing wrong with
It
that.
was the Fluttershy gender bent. I had a nice little
Cool.
yay.
Oh, that works. That is so good.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So
From there, it went on to like typecast for like basically anything J. Michael Tatum was everything I got typecast for. So that was my
So 10, 15 years ago, obviously, I mean, you had all that. When did you start upgrading your equipment? How did that start coming about?
So I ended up actually taking a break for a couple years. I was just spotty every now and then. There was a project, a long-term project that I was involved in that I would pop back in and forth. But I didn't actually start upgrading until about 2 years ago. And I was like, okay, now it's time to, let's get the nitty gritty out of the way. Let's get down. Let's buckle down. This is what I want to do. Let's do it. So
it was around when COVID kind of started.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect timing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
feel
a
a lot of the guests. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Please go ahead. It's exactly the same point I was about to make.
Yeah, that a lot of our guests recently have kind of followed in that same suit. Like they weren't sure about it at first, and then January of 2019 comes around, and everyone's like, "Well, I guess now's a better time than never."
So it was. I was battling myself back and forth about whether I wanted to actually, drop the ball, let's go and let's do it. And I would, have hourly conversations with my husband about, okay, do I want to do this? Am I good enough? I remember sitting there with the equipment in my shopping cart, just like looking at it, staring at it, going, do I want to do this? Do I want to do this? I look at him and be like, I can't press the go button. If you think I'm good enough, you press that order. And he just like shoved me out of the way and pressed it.
I feel that.
Nice support.
But I originally, because my dad was he was one of those that was very not anti-arts, but he didn't understand the arts.
Mm-hmm.
He was very much I wanted you to play football kind of guy.
Yeah.
And not to bring the conversation all like sad, but he passed away at the beginning of COVID. And I remember like thinking like, oh darn, I wanted to be able to like show him something, but I feel like now that he's like not here, it's more of a I don't know, freedom, I guess, that I don't have to have him like constantly in the back of my head going, well, you should be doing this, or you shouldn't be doing that.
Kind of a judgment-free area now.
Yeah.
I can understand that. Walter says, started more seriously because I had tons of free time from COVID lockdowns. That's generally how it works out. All right, so I gotta ask, what was in your cart the first time?
So it's actually what I am using right now.
Okay.
I have an Audio Technica 2035.
Okay.
And I use a nice little Focusrite Scarlett Eye for my interface. And then I've just upgraded with a bunch of foam as I needed it.
So
That's an awesome space you have, to be honest. It's really cool.
So that was going to be my next question. So first you got the microphone, you got the mixer, and you started recording. Maybe you found that your audio was needed a little dampening, or.
So I recently moved. I want to say in October I moved into a new place. But before that, I was living in a very echoey mobile home. And I had it, blankets everywhere, like 2 or 3 thick.
Nice.
My current demo reel was actually recorded over there. And I remember having Tom Schulk was the one who actually did the editing for my demo reel.
Cool.
And he kept sending me back like, hey, there's more echo. Hey, there's more reverb. Hey, I need you to, and it was back and forth for like 2 or 3 weeks. And finally it sounded good. And now that I'm here, it's like, oh, well, this is a lot better.
So let me ask, I see here, is here a closet?
Yes. So
Okay.
I managed to get. I actually have just on the other side of this is my office. And basically it's literally connected straight up to, so all I have to have in here is just my microphone, my monitor, and that's it. Everything else gets handled out there.
Nice.
That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It's nice, and no hums from the PCs and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I recently upgraded to liquid cooling because my old computer sounded like a jet, and I could actually hear, because right behind me is my booth, so I could actually hear it sometimes coming through. Unfortunately, like my AC is on right now. Same thing. I can hear it if I'm inside. But I mean, the audio upgrade from just the room, even with the panels and the blankets that I've got over here, it's a huge upgrade. And I mean, when you're ready to do it, you'll see an improvement in what you're putting out there. So super, super important.
Which, by the way, I have to give you mad props for the for the TARDIS. Dude, like, are you kidding me? Like, Hoovy in here, I am like over here going like, woo!
I did, yeah. Because when I first got it, it's a little 4x4 booth. I called it the TARDIS, and I bought a blanket for it. And I said, "What the hell? I might as well make it a whole thing." Because it's just like wood entrance and you're all set to go. Thank you. Okay, so now that you're here, I mean, what's been your favorite role so far that you've gotten that you can say
So the I guess the one I've done the most with was the big project that I kept going back and forth to was a YouTube parody. It was very, very Team 4-star type thing. We decided that we wanted to parody Black Butler.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yes.
So
good anime.
It was me and two other friends, and we're like, hey, we can mildly pull these accents off. Let's give it a shot, see what happens. And I think over the course of 5 years, it actually kind of exploded into a pretty big thing.
Nice.
I got to play the so charismatic Sebastian, and the demon butler, and I was simply one hell of a butler at that.
Nice. So in your network, you must have somebody who's very creative, or was this your idea, or was it somebody else's idea?
It was one of my friend's ideas. Her name's Jazz Oliver.
Okay.
I don't know if you've seen her on Twitter or not, but she's quite a very popular person as well. But she is beyond creative. She did all the script writing, she did all the editing, and I mean, mind-boggling. And I remember just once a week, we would just kind of get together, cold read some scripts, and just be like, oh no, this is hilarious, and we just shoot it back and forth. But that was what we did for a good, I want to say 7 years almost.
Oh wow. Cold read, I see what you did there. Thank you. So where do you see yourself in 5 years? What would you like to I mean, obviously it's a loaded question, but from between now and do you see yourself going full time? What's your plans?
I very much would love to go full time. I unfortunately don't think I've got the history yet. I have been told by a few other people that I have a very unique voice and a very kind of hard to place voice. So either I will be the nervous character or I will be the shonen anime boy. So that's kind of
not a bad thing.
No, exactly. Shonen's right now. Yeah, but it's very much I would love to try to make that first break into an anime. I would love to get cast as just anything main character for a visual novel, which I've done before, but it's one of those that never came all the way to fruition. So
yeah, I think we all have those projects that we start and we kind of wish that it would come out, but at the same time, it's like,
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
no, I was curious because that was going to be one of my questions for you is per your resume, it says you were part of Paladin by Teen Story Site. Did that not come out then? Because I thought that was a visual novel.
So interesting little tidbit. I actually recently emailed them. Come to find out, I don't know if this is going to get me doxxed by Team Story or not.
Uh-oh.
But I asked them, I was like, hey, I haven't heard anything from you guys. It's been like I was cast for this like almost a year ago. What's happening?
Yeah.
Apparently they because they do a lot of student work.
Mhm.
So once the students come up with an idea, they cast it. But then everything then gets moved up to see if their investors actually want to make it a thing.
Gotcha.
So I've been cast as the character if it ever comes to fruition.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a tricky situation.
Well, it's like a
Yeah.
pilot. Essentially, you did a pilot for a video game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I only ask because I also auditioned for I don't know if it was that role in particular, but I know for that project I definitely did. And I was going to ask what your thoughts on working on like video games were, but I guess no longer applies.
Well.
So any of the small stuff that I have done that has been, I really like video game work. It feels more natural, more raw, because it kind of gives you that more emotional, I don't know, backing, I guess. Like most like anime or visual novels, you're kind of playing that expected character. Like you already know what that archetype is. Video games, you just get the straight emotion. You have to make it believable. So I definitely love doing video game work.
Good.
Nice.
Now, were those recordings directed recordings, or they gave you a script and told you to go for it?
They just gave me the script and just said, hey, we'll get back to you if we need any redos.
Go figure.
So did they give you any context in the sense of, because my work with Skywin, they give you like pre-lines or bits and pieces, especially with a conversation. Did they give you anything like that? Or is it
No,
just NPC stuff?
Literally just the NPC stuff. They literally, basically the audition lines is what they used.
Yeah.
They were just like, hey, your audition lines were good enough. We're just going to use these. And then if we need any more, we'll get in touch. And that's where it left.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Like that's how it goes with those projects that they only have like 1 or 2 audition lines, and it's like miscellaneous characters. They just need like those little background lines, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Also, looking at your resume, it looks like you've done some schooling. How did you come to that decision to start taking classes?
I mostly, so the very first one that I did with Sunny Straight, I decided that, well, if I'm going to have a resume, I would probably need the backing of somebody who's fairly well known. And I was like, well, Sunny's obviously, I mean, he was one of the very first people I watched. I grew up when Dragon Ball Z came to the United States.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of those things like, that was pretty much a no-brainer. So I was like, my decision to take the schooling was not so much of I feel like I needed the schooling, but more of the starting the reach out. I guess that's the
gotcha.
Making connections.
Networking.
You're networking.
Networking, yeah.
It is needed.
No, I completely agree. How did you come to find these particular classes? Was it just a website that you looked up or a recommendation from somebody?
So I remember, I don't know why Sunny's stuck out to me. I don't know if it's because I followed him on Facebook for so long, but I just remember seeing it one time and thinking, oh, hey, like that would be really neat. It was just at the time, it was like super expensive. And he said, excuse me. I decided that, what, all right, I think it was like a tax season return or something like that one day. And I was just like, you know what, I'm going to pull the trigger. Let's do it. And honestly, I think it was one of the best decisions I made. It not only got me involved with a whole slew of other people now, which has grown in. There's a Discord server that has absolutely blown up from the people that I was in the class with. And now every week we do 2 workouts every week that we just bring in a bunch of people, aspiring voice actors, everyone else, to just here's some scripts here. We're going to work with you and we just kind of have fun with it.
So you guys basically listen to people and give feedback.
Yeah, basically it's the person that's pretty much in charge now is a voice actress who has worked for Funimation, has done other work. Her name's Dusty Feeney. She does a lot of
I think I'm in that one. Is it the Be a Friend server?
It is
That's
a
what
Be a
I'm
Friend.
thinking. Yeah,
I'm in that one.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was just
so-
like, yes, because I've now met a couple servers that they do that. And it's like, that's when
Yep,
that's really
that was
cool.
Gerard and I were in Sunny's class together, and so he was like, "Hey, I'm starting the Sith Swords Curve. Do you want to join in?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, let's do this."
And it's all set in freaking American time, and I can never be there when it happens.
Yeah, downside is that my new schedule makes it to where I close on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so I can't make those anymore.
That's unfortunate.
That is, especially with when you have free, basically tutoring or even critiquing. Take every advantage that you can while you're out there.
Absolutely, it's one of those things like any sort of any aspiring voice actor, if you're ever thinking about going into it, I cannot recommend enough to just get somebody to listen to you. I mean, one of the other classes that I did was with J. Michael Tatum. I did his advanced acting class, and he had us memorize, which, raise your hand the last time you had to memorize a script for something, a monologue or anything. Like how long ago was that?
Okay, so it's more the case of when I have a long line in Skywind, I have to, read it through, get the cadence, and then just remember it and not look at it, if that makes sense. So kind of is what I mean by that.
November 2018 was for me because I did 12 Angry Jurors in community theater.
I'd say a little over a year ago, I auditioned for, I actually was participating in a monologue, monologue competition on YouTube, and I wanted to do that for a really long time, just because I miss acting in person. I miss stage acting so much. So I saw that, and it's like, I need to do this, and it was so amazing to speak out words that I remembered from my brain. It's like,
Time is
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say Walter on chat says, middle school for me,
I miss it. It was a lot of fun.
I want to say it was college level for me, which was 10 years ago. It was, he made us memorize this 2 or 3 minute monologue, and he did a really cool thing. And the only, the main thing that I pull from that is the first one he gave me was a comedy. And then he's like, okay, now we're going to draw from, you want to do that instant emotion kind of stuff. You want to change it up. So he made me do a dramatic reading. And the only prompt that he gave me was, you just walked in to find that a friend had committed suicide.
Oh my God.
No.
And I took this class right after my dad had passed.
Oh no.
No, timing.
Yeah, it was
raw emotion though.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best things that I can say out of all of that was that I got J. Michael Tatum to tear up.
Wow.
Wow.
We've lost Misty.
Lost a Misty.
And you got Misty to leave.
Wow.
Misty to leave.
Discord.
Yeah.
Hey, welcome back.
Lords above.
There you go.
It was so emotive that Discord could not handle it.
It just said peace.
Well, wow. Okay. Well,
Damn.
I mean, obviously, I won't go into cost or anything, but it's always good. We're big proponents when it comes to always learn. Even if you can't afford the classes, read, watch YouTube, listen to people like Crownstag, not to drop his name again, but there's a lot of good people out there. Twitter, we're always watching Jeff to see what he's up to, and yeah. So it's good to have that network. Yeah, go ahead.
If you're ever planning on taking a class and you're always afraid of the cost, I always tell people reach out to them, because more than likely they will be willing to do a payment situation. You don't have to come up with that. So if all you can afford is $25, $50 or something like that at a time, drop that. Let's see if they can do it, because those payment professionals know what they're talking about.
And sometimes these aren't one shots. They're 3, 4, 10, depending on the amount that you're going for. Just, be careful. Make sure that you always come in, Sunny Straits, Michael Tatum's, those are names that are recognized. Be careful on the other stuff out there. We've talked about some of those that are more of the out for the money type of people.
Yeah.
I'm in some classes
Yeah.
right now with closing credits, 12-week courses, one with Brendan Hunter, the other with Ellie Ray, and they're just really, really, really great classes. It's just expanding my
that's cool.
horizons.
Yeah, it's cool to hear you sign up for that. I was going to, but then I realized I don't have money. So
And the payment plan, I'm paying per month.
No.
Thankfully they
Yeah.
have that because
and the price is certainly well worth it too, because it's like $150 for like a 6-week course or something like that. So you're technically only paying like what, $30 per class or less than that. So it's well worth the price overall. But yeah, no, I agree. You know, if you don't have the money or the time necessarily to pay for classes like that, yeah, plenty of YouTube videos out there, plenty of Discord servers. Look on Twitter. And that's what I love about the voice acting community overall, is they are so willing to help and try to build everyone up together, and it's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah, it helps people keep going in a world that would otherwise squish you down.
In a world.
I recently saw somebody post about this on Twitter, and I think they were absolutely 100% correct. There is literally a voice for everyone. There's a character for everyone, because Chris Pratt can't voice everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Indeed.
We talked about that before, haven't we? Or something to do with Chris Pratt voicing something.
I want that man's agent. I don't know about you guys, but Jesus Christ.
Oh yes.
He's worth every freaking penny.
I just have a really good sales pitch.
Come to Cold Read and watch us do this.
Not last week's episode though, but please. We're gonna take that one off.
Episode last week.
Yeah. So Garrett, let me ask you this. So at what point did you decide to get the website going? Did somebody make it for you? Did you do it yourself? How did that come about?
I did it myself. I was trying to get on one of the Funimation directors' shortlists, and they required a website for their form. And I was like, oh, hey, I don't have one of those. I should probably do that. And I spent probably the better part of 2 days trying to find something that worked, and just, back and forth, piddling with it, trying to get it to work just remotely. And what I have is what I came up with after like a week.
So did you pay for a domain, or did you use Squarespace? What sort of things?
I did not pay for a domain. I'm using one of those free, I think it's Wix.
Those are good.
Yeah.
I've done one before. I'm going to use that for when I make one eventually.
I decided that, well, once I get more of those consistent, roles, I can get a little bit more money in from just voice acting. Then I'll look at getting one of those domains actually set up for myself and go from there.
I mean,
go ahead.
It's depending on what you make at your day job, and please don't tell me. Having your own domain really isn't that expensive. It's a monthly cost, but overall, it's probably maybe like $120 a year. So it's really not that bad.
I see you've got both of your demos up. You've got a booth test and you've got an animation reel.
Ooh.
Anybody want to take a quick listen?
Yes.
Of course.
You put it out there.
That actually makes me very nervous, because whenever I see a lot of announcements on Twitter from casting directors, like, oh, I'm setting up a roster, and it's like, demo. I can't do this a bit yet.
Yeah, I won't lie. I did spend a pretty penny on the demo reel.
Okay.
But my very first demo, I got scripted, directed, and basically done everything for me for $150.
That's not bad at all.
Good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saving up for just something like that.
This one was
a bit more?
Almost 10 times that.
Okay.
Oh, Lord.
All right.
Okay.
Jeez.
Now that we've set that up, let's make sure that the volume's at a good amount.
This better be the best quality ever.
Well, the quality of it might be. The voice behind it may not be, but you can make that choice.
Right.
Do not put yourself down, man.
Oh
No,
my gosh.
I refuse.
All right, let's take a listen.
Don't do what I did the last week. Don't.
All right.
Well, disarming a nuclear warhead while riding on top of a speeding train wasn't exactly on my bucket list, but good golly if it ain't a great way to spend a Saturday! Ma'am, after 90 days I cannot give you a refund, only an exchange. Ma'am, I will eviscerate you if you... Oh, is there anything else I can help you with? If you're looking for safe passage through Beta Centaur territory, I could outfit your ship with some new experimental tech for a price. You see, all I have to do is reroute the electricity to this circuit over here, and I increase mechanical efficiency threefold. I guess you really don't care about that. So this is what ends the reign of the great King Alexandrius, a child with an old rusty sword. You got this far, but this is where it ends for you. You don't get through this door until you get through me first!
Wow.
Protagonist.
That was worth it.
Awesome!
Yeah. You definitely have that anime voice. I love that. That sounded great.
Once I get going into the higher pitch, because this is actually not... This, of course, is the normal voice, but I used to do a lot of singing, so therefore I actually have a lot of higher register still.
Good.
So one of the things that I get cast as a lot now is that super young, I absolutely love doing this for you. So that's where my Izuku Midoriya voice comes in, and I promise that I'm going to be your savior.
Nice. Wow. I can totally hear that. Yeah, definitely for anime work and everything else. You've got that register. That's like the first one that hit me was that, and then the emotion in the King, was it King Richard? I want to say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was really well done. I'd say that was worth it. But
yeah.
As we've said before, make sure that you're at the level where you can put something good out there. Don't jump in and spend all that money from the get-go, because you always have room to grow.
Yes, absolutely. I probably waited. I mean, I only actually got that demo reel done within the last year. And I think before that, the only reason I jumped out to get one is just so I had something. But I felt like beginner level 150 was a good place for me to start. I felt comfortable doing that. But I don't think I would have spent more than that at the level I was when I got the first one done.
When you did the recording, did you do it from your current booth or?
Not the one you just listened to. That one was done at the old house.
Interesting.
That's the one thing you said had to do a million retakes for that.
But I mean,
those retakes paid off.
Absolutely. I was about to say.
Yeah.
100%. All right. What do you feel about refreshing your reel? How often do you think that this one's going to last you a while, or?
I feel like right now this one should last me a while. I'm not behind the every year you need to get a new demo. I thought that way when I first started. Like every year I was like writing my own scripts and coming out with something new, but I'm at the age now where my voice isn't really going to change much. The only thing that's going to change is my acting experience. And I feel like once that has changed enough, then I'll probably do another one.
And the cost. It's like, why are you guys just going to pay that every dedicated? It's like,
Awesome. Panel, I know I asked, anybody have any other questions that we want to bring up?
Yeah, one more question left, Zamoody.
Oh no, I will ask that, but I want everybody else to make sure that they have their questions.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Open book, hit me.
It's not really a question, but it's more because every time we listen to a demo reel, my brain's gone into, here's how this could probably be better. You know what I mean? So I've got, I don't know. Can I? I don't know. I feel bad.
Right. Go for it.
Okay, so because my brain analyzes quite a lot of things, and every time I listen to like a demo reel, I kind of go, "Oh, this is like good things and bad things." Oh, just hit me, Mike. I loved the juxtaposition when it went to Arthur, like that the Arthur one. I loved the difference, the difference of that, the drop. That was really good. I think your first three sounded very similar, and it's very, I was trying to block out all the other stuff, and they do sound very similar. So if there's any leeway of maybe pushing it even to more nasally, or a little bit like find more textures, maybe, I guess, to add to different things. Yeah.
The reason that we went that way with it, Amanda Hufford was the one who did the directing for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, she's great. I've heard
She's
of her.
good. She's good.
And the reason we decided to stay with it sounding similar is I unfortunately do not have a big range when it comes to voice acting, but you do say texture. She recommended for the animation reel, which is basically what I did, was to let the difference of the emotions try to speak. So that way it's kind of showing you that wider range. So I have the happy, and then it's coming into the angry, and then it goes into, so that's what she said, don't worry too much about if you can do 20,000 different voices, make sure you can do 20,000 different emotions.
Yeah, so I get that.
That's
cool.
That's what we played with.
That's something I'll most likely have to do because I don't have like a super different range for the characters I want to do. Like most likely my villain's gonna sound the same as like a seductive enchantress, but it's like the range that I want to go for, the angry or low. Like that's what I want to hopefully achieve.
That was the one of the things that Tatum was instilling us too, is never play off the stereotypical emotion of when you're reading. So if something says be angry, everybody assumes angry is loud and boisterous, but what about seething anger? What about the cold anger? All those different stuff.
Good
so
stuff.
That's what we tried to play into more.
No, that's good. I always say context is key, and if you don't ask the questions, you don't get the answers. So that was just me. Now I can sit here and drink the rest of my tea without, bursting, going, I need to say this. Always good now. I'm good now. The Brits checked out. We're good.
And you're really well versed at swinging that tea around for those of you that are here live or watching YouTube, because I'm always worried about
There's
that.
There's barely anything left in there now, so you're all good.
So I'm watching that cup going like,
we can't see it, but there are some little particles of liquid just going around the room.
Oh, absolutely. What you can't see is my magical ability to, like freaking, what is it? Like I can water bend, so I can tea bend, so it's all good.
Absolutely.
She's probably going to turn her camera one day, and the foam on either side of the booth is just going to be splattered.
Just completely plated.
Like a drunkard in an old tavern or something.
So
you're gonna have to make them completely black from now on.
well. Continue, guys.
Thank
I'm just
you.
gonna drink the rest of this and sit in the corner.
No, don't start. Garrett, the question I always ask our guests, and the one that Eldurrino was prompting me to, is if you were to meet yourself at the beginning of this, what advice would you give yourself?
As bleak as it seems at times, there is a community involved. Don't give up.
Ooh.
I suffer from depression exceptionally big. I am a suicide survivor, and it sometimes it gets hard. And to think that, when you're in a booth, you're reading lines that you feel like you're by yourself a lot. But there is such a huge community there. And as long as you're willing to kind of, take that first step, it's worth it. And I feel like now, out of everything I can say, everything I've done over the last 10 years has been worth it. So just be patient. Go for it.
I love that. Very well said. Would that advice also transfer over to somebody who's new at voice acting, or how would you bend it to somebody who's just jumping in?
For somebody who's just jumping in, it's gonna seem like there's such a vast open world of voice acting. Like, oh, there's so much I can do. There's all the anime, visual novels, commercials, audio books. Find your click. Find what you're comfortable with doing first. That's where you need to start. If you're a big bolsterous person, try to jump into anime. If you're if you like to read, go into audiobooks. But as big as the world seems, I think I've only been cast in a small handful of things out of the thousands of things I've auditioned for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it seems bleak at times. But I promise you, like I was saying earlier, there's a voice for everyone. Just be patient. You will find that voice. I promise you.
Well said. Eldurrino, your last question?
Yeah. So, what is your favorite pizza topping?
Oh gosh. When they have to think about it, I'm nervous.
Is this gonna be another I don't eat pizza kind of thing?
No cop-outs.
I absolutely eat pizza almost like twice a week. Are you kidding me? I am more. I think I'm a. Oh, I'm gonna be controversial.
No, it's fine.
I like chicken, but I like a chicken bacon and pineapple.
Nice.
Nice.
Nope. Yep.
It was good until the pineapple.
Like,
God damn it.
Oh God, no! I just expected it.
Pineapple can be exchanged with black olives if that's okay.
No. You stick with pineapple, sir. Don't listen to these people.
Done.
You're perfectly fine.
It's fine. I
Stick to your guns. Stick to your guns.
I hate.
I was,
pineapple.
I was really good with pineapple, but now that you said olives, we're done. Interview over.
All right, guys. Bye.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're right here at the end of the show. Garrett, thank you so much for being here. Any last words that you'd like to impart to anybody who's listening to this?
Just don't be afraid to be yourself. Get out there, do something, and have fun with it. Just have fun.
I think you just took over for Renara on that one. Thank you so much.
No, it's fine.
I love it.
It's good. No, it's nice. It's nice to hear other people say it now, because I mean, it's all well and good coming from me, just me. But when other people say it, it just means it's part of the community. So what I'm just only going to add is take it one step at a time. Do not rush yourself. Learn to rest, but not step backwards. You do not need permission to create, but you do need permission to make money off of it. And as he said, have fun with it, and who knows where it will take you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for those of you that put questions in chat. Thanks for those of you that watched on YouTube or anywhere where you get the podcast. If you want to talk to us for any reason, we have a Discord going on. That'll be a link on all of the descriptions that you see, or if you're within my Twitch, you can look at it right down there. If you have a question or comment, or if you want us to listen to your recordings, ColdReadthePodcast at gmail.com. We're very open. We're very positive when it comes to, we will tell you, although it's something you may want to hear, we will do it in a very constructive way. We will never personally attack anybody, and nobody should ever attack you for putting yourself out there. So please keep that in mind.
We will not be mean. We promise.
We do
We're
absolutely
lovely,
promise. We swear. Next week is my intro, and I want to talk about, and I'm sorry, I know, Eldurrino, you're off for next week, and I hope you do well. Orange Ugla's going to come in and host. I want to talk about Futurama, and I want to talk about the Bender thing. So,
oh man, damn it!
I think it's a big topic. I think it's
maybe I'll pre-record my thoughts and then I'll
Sure.
just have you play it.
Yeah.
Just send him like things you can play. Just
A self-recording tape. It's like, hi, my thoughts here.
Thank you so much, everybody. Until next time, please keep yourself going. Thanks for being here. Bye, buddy.
Bye.
Bye. Drink water.
There it is.
Now.
Bye.